Brandon Rector.
Putting the spotlight on local businesses in the capital city. This is 402 Business Insider with Travis Filing and Gary Tharnish on 1499.3 KLIN.
Good morning and welcome to the 402 Business Insider. This this first segment is sponsored by Complete Family Dermatology and the UPS stores, two great companies. Please utilize them when you can. I'm Gary Tharnish with Home Design Real Estate Group at Home Real Estate, and with me today is Shannon Filing with Transformation Marketing, filling in for Travis.
I'm back.
Yeah, how are you, Shannon?
Good. How are
Oh my
you?
God, good. I've known Shannon forever. She used to work for me at the flower shop, and you're just amazing, Shannon.
Oh, you're sweet.
You've done so well. And boy, Travis really married up, and I'm thinking that guy, he's successful because of you. I'm just going to say it. He'll kill me.
Post that. He needs all those messages. I'm pretty lucky too, actually.
I love it. Well, it's nice to have you. Go Big Red. It's game day here in Husker Land, so I'm excited about that.
I feel like I should, I am the least sports person ever.
Are you?
So
Are you?
If you're listening, you know this, but
yeah. The only real two sports I get into are Husker volleyball and Husker football, but I'm huge on both of those. Absolutely love them. So it's like, we're making food. I'm not going to the game, but we're making game day food.
But that's the thing. It's the food and the gathering.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And the
but
friends.
I gotta say, though, even though I don't watch sports, I love the fact that the volleyball team has had such a limelight for so long, such success. And I'm like, sometimes female sports don't get that. And they've just really held on and done a really great job. So I cheer silently for them.
Well, and they propelled women's sports in a huge way. I mean, 93,000 fans for a women's. They held the world's record for women's sport attendance. I mean, that is crazy and awesome.
I did not know that. That's
cool.
Cool.
So my assistant at work is Bree Sigler, and her daughter T is number 11, I think. Yes, on the volleyball team. So I feel super close to. I feel like she's my daughter. She's not, but I'm just like, go T, go.
Oh, that's
anyway,
fun.
But yeah, I love the Husker team. They're just amazing. So this first segment, we always talk about business in the news, something that's happened in the news that we can get a lesson from and learn from and everything. It's also open for a sponsorship. So if you're listening and you're a business and you want us to pour love all over you, give us a call or go to our Facebook page, webpage, whatever. It's 402 Business Insider. Give us some love and we'll love you right back.
Right.
So this week, we're going to talk a little bit about what?
Salesforce.
That's right. I kind of forgot for a second.
Yeah.
Okay, so the CEO lays off 4,000 people, and he goes, we just need 4,000 less heads.
Right.
Can you imagine if your boss just thought of you as, you're just a head, you're just one of many? I mean,
exactly. So this was brought up at our team meeting, and I did not see this, but April, she goes, hey, did you see that? I can't even pronounce his name right. I would just butcher it. But that
guy.
Yeah, that guy. He doesn't get a name. They don't get names. They're
right.
heads. So whatever. But he laid off 4,000 people for AI positions. And I thought, well, this is really interesting being in a space that heavily is using AI and it's only going to go up. And I started looking at that and I read the article and it did strike me with I just need less heads. And I thought about you guys' interview with Tim Kirkpatrick.
Sure.
I thought how calloused and cavalier for the people that have clued in every day, shown up, provided great customer service. That kind of struck me. And then I started looking through, and as a culture, he was quoted on July 17th as well, saying that AI would augment jobs and not replace jobs. This is 2 months difference. And I thought, man, if I worked there, that just would not set right. I just wonder what the company culture, have mass layoffs and then you have that.
Yeah, I have no idea how many heads are left at his place, but if I was one of his heads left at his place, I'd be hunting in a heartbeat.
Right?
Writers in general. So I have a friend who's a writer out in the Bay Area in California, and I think about her all the time thinking, AI could, quote, quote, replace her. But there's just something about that human touch and the creativity of what comes into that. And I just can't see AI replacing that except for this. AI, if you have a membership to AI and it's just your membership, it gets to know you in a very creepy kind of way, for example. Because I have it and I'm starting to use it because I want to use it to help me write my book. Because I have all sorts of stuff about my book So, for example, I'll squirrel right now. I squirrel all the time, right? And so it's like, you should see the parts of my book. I have like a little bit of the last chapter, some of the first right here. I have one that I literally say might be a chapter. I mean, it's a mess. So AI like quickly organized this and I go, oh my God, AI sounds smart. That's kind of funny. So everybody's going to know I didn't totally write it if I use it. But I'm able to talk to it while I drive and everything. But over time, what scares me about it is it's like it kind of becomes you in a way, you know? And so I could see if you're working for a company like Salesforce or any place where you're writing, that would be a little stressful, wondering if, you know, am I going to be replaced? And however, he ruined any kind of culture. You're going to be excited to apply for a job if he needs a head.
Right?
No.
If they're tuned in, it is not going to set well. I think it will have ripple effects for a long time. However, the reality is AI is being infused in businesses in a lot of ways, and I know we'll talk about that here today, but this is true for any business or employee. You have to have your eyes open, and how are we going to pivot with this?
Right.
I think it has a lot of attributes that are going to be very helpful to business, which we'll talk about, but I also... to me, this was a trust. This was an ethics way this was rolled out.
Yeah.
I certainly have ideas on how it should have been done, just from a team and culture standpoint. It's just interesting.
From a standpoint of respect.
Yeah.
Talk about a lack of respect. I mean, just to be called a head, you know, got rid of 4,000 heads. It's like, okay, I'm meaningless totally to this company. All 4,000 of those people have a life. They have either a mortgage or a rent. They need to eat. They may have a family, and suddenly you're just not a needed head. When in July, he reaffirmed his staff that it's just going to augment what they do, not replace them. I mean, it's like the total worst way to handle that situation, and disrespectful big time, in my opinion.
So when Travis listens to this, being a former pilot, I do find it very interesting in that arena when they talk about not passengers, but souls on board.
Yes.
I mean, that makes it a very, very real thing. And I just felt that was kind of parallel to this. It's like heads, they're people. Their family depends on this.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that you can't shift as a business, but I just thought that really said a lot about how he viewed that. That's when decisions are made by spreadsheet and not the entire team.
Yeah. It's not a good quality of his character, that's for sure. Right. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, wow, very selfish, self-serving. The lack of caring is absolutely unbelievable. I like the way you guys refer to people that rent your real estate buildings as, oh, that's Matt building. It's not like, oh, that's our building and Matt rents it. It's like, it's Matt's building. Right. He's renting it. He's paying the mortgage right now as a renter. You know, when that's the exact opposite of this person. Yeah. I'm not going to say his name either because, well, A, I have no idea what it is, and B, it's apparently hard to pronounce, but he's just a head. It's just a figurehead. It's like the top head, I guess, or whatever you want to say. But, yeah, it's amazing to me sometimes. You know, though, in real large corporations like that, you kind of don't know who the guy at the top is or the woman at the top is, really, in a lot of ways, unless they're injecting themselves into what you do and really interested in it. Going back, by the way, I always want to mention 402 in Business Insider. We have a Facebook page, podcasts you can get on. I get mine on Spotify, but whatever you use, a YouTube channel, which is also 402 Business Insider. Go back and listen to the interview we did maybe 2 or 3 weeks, mid-August, just Tim Cunningham. Yes. Kirkpatrick. It's kind of like Cunningham, but not. So search for Kirkpatrick, not Cunningham.
Well, on the website, all of your episodes are there.
Perfect.
So it'll be right there.
Perfect. And find that and listen to that because he's the exact opposite of this gentleman when you look about how he ran his business. And it's one reason I think why it's real successful. Look, I also don't believe he laid off 4,000 people because AI could just take over. I think he laid off 4,000 people because the business numbers probably aren't looking that good.
That very well could be because there is a lot of development in the CRM space. Right. So I have a CRM system. Yeah. Right. So, and Salesforce is one of the more complicated ones and certainly one of the more pricey ones. So it's a fair point that it couldn't just be. He did mention in there that there were so many contacts or requests or questions that they couldn't even get to. Now, that could be true. That could be true where AI can definitely help in those instances, but I have a hard time believing 4,000 worth.
Well, and he knew that in July when he made the comment that it could
yes.
augment what we do. It could help answering those questions in text when people have questions. I think there's just more to the story, but it's just he just did it in the worst way.
Yeah, you don't onboard this in 2 months' time.
Well, and not only that, you don't call people that work for you just heads. I got rid of 4,000 heads and replaced them with AI.
Yeah.
You know, oh, well, yippee skippy, yay you. I mean, for me, as a client, the CRM that we use at work, I know I can call and I don't go to one of those dang, for something, press 2, for something, press 3. You know, it drives me crazy. I have so much fun when AI calls me, like a survey. You know, I'll be, how are your algorithms today? I'm sorry, I didn't understand that. Are you feeling okay?
You just AI it back.
Technical stuff working really. Yeah, I just like, look, I'll talk to you, computer.
So funny thing on phone trees, I told Travis years ago, I did win this. He did not want a phone tree. Well, I won. I said, well, Trav, it doesn't have to be so dry. Let's do something fun.
There you go. That would be fun.
Well, we've changed our phone system, but for years we had Call Me Maybe. So we had all of our stuff sung by Call Me Maybe, and then we had the Golden Girls.
Now, see, I could deal with that.
Oh,
that
yeah,
would
it was
just be
so fun.
Yeah,
and we had people call after hours just to hear it. I kid you not. And I said, see, Trav, we can do a phone tree. It'll just be fun.
I'm the phone tree guy that ends up going, oh, what was that? Oh, yeah, say 8 to repeat, because I've squirreled on 5 other things already and missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. I don't know where I'm going.
And then it's like 0.
Yeah,
0.
Yeah, and then I'm trying to think, what are you supposed to say? Customer, please. Wait, no, that's me. Client, help. Oh, representative, please. Representative, please. I finally get there, and then it's just like, I've had AI hang up on me.
Yeah, they gave up on you.
It's like, oh, he's one of those.
He's one of those humans. It just doesn't get it.
They're so annoying to have to deal with. Well, anyway, it is important, you know, since we started doing these business in the news segments, it's been amazing to me how many times big decisions are made in a very poor way. Like they don't think through. I always think you need to make a corporate decision like that as if you're playing chess, right? So if we're playing chess and I move one of my pieces, I'm thinking 2 or 3 steps ahead what you might do. It's almost like they just blindside, make a decision and don't think, what are the ramifications of this? You know, the first ramification, second, third, fourth, you know, what are their clients going to think? Honestly, if I'm a client of their CRM, I'm like, I don't know if I want to support this CRM if his attitude is just, you know, someday I'm just going to have to get a robot or something.
Well, that's the thing is some people really are embracing AI, some aren't. So you leaning so heavily into that in a negative way, your customers could reflect that as a poor thing, like I'm only going to get AI. I have no options. So that'll be very interesting to see play out.
Well, listen, we're coming up on a hard break here, so we're going to go. You are listening to the 402 Business Insider. Remember, you can find us on any of your musical apps, Spotify, Amazon.com, all those. We have a webpage. You can always locate us there, but stick with us through the break. On the other side, in segment 2, we're going to find out a little bit about Shannon and transformation marketing, how she started it, and kind of go down that path of finding out who Shannon is so we understand totally why Travis is successful. See you soon.
Building business, one story at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
Welcome back to the 402 Business Insider on this beautiful day outside in Nebraska. And go Big Red. We have a game tonight. I'm so excited. I'm crazy. Anyway, I'm Gary Tharnish with Home Design Real Estate Group at Home Real Estate. And with me today is Shannon Filing, Travis's lovely wife, with Transformation Marketing. Travis is off, probably heading to a Cleveland's Brown game or something.
He's
I don't know that guy.
To a series of sadness is what I always hear.
Series of sadness. I love it. Oh, poor guy. He's a true fan, though. I'm telling you what, man. That is very, very true. This segment is sponsored by the Cabin Virtual Indoor Golf, Western National Bank, and Mendoza Family Insurance. Shannon, the Cabin Virtual Indoor Golf is a new sponsor of ours, and that's you and Travis's big golf cabin down in Panama. Tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, so it was interesting. So Travis we had this building, and we like to just make sure that they don't turn into storage, right? So we bought this building, didn't know what we were doing, rehabbed it, and then a friend of ours said, you should do this indoor golf. And now they're popping up everywhere, which honestly is probably great because we're still the best. just a little biased, but the technology is so great in year-round golf. But now, speaking of AI, what's really interesting is Travis was showing me, and I'm not a golfer, by the way, but I appreciate the technology and the space and what it offers. But now, even with the stats and the technology, you could improve your game, have fun playing your game, whatever you want to do there. But now it is telling you how to improve your game with AI. It was so cool. So Travis did a swing and it told him 5 things he could do to improve and then mapped it out on his videoed swing. It was way, way cool. So cool. AI is injecting into everything.
There's some great things about AI. I do physical therapy now free through my insurance company. They've sent me a pad, and I do the exercises, and it's live. I look like a skeleton on the screen, and then they come back right afterwards and say, make these adaptations. And the next time I do those same exercises, it's more catered to me. It's interesting. I mean, that's part of AI cool. that I actually absolutely love. It's hilarious.
So many benefits, actually.
Yeah, usually it's like, Mr. Tarnish, get back in the screen. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I tumbled over because I really can't do that. And I have no balance and I'm old. But anyway, AI's learning about me, I'm sure. Like, oh, it's that guy.
You're probably flagged.
Okay, yeah. What the 5-year-old say to me in July? Oh, it's that fat-faced bald guy. Gotta love it. So Shannon, you own Transformation Marketing. So people that have been listening for a long time, when we were at the other station, you and Jody and Clark surprised me one time for a show because we worked together when you were in high school. You worked at the flower shop.
And my first real job.
Yeah, I love it. I'm so proud of you and what you've done with Transformation Marketing. But tell me a little bit about that. I know you were in banking for a while, if I remember.
10 years.
Right? A long time.
10 and a half years.
Yeah. And then you met this pilot, and things happen. I guess we can't take that back. Yeah. But anyway.
Well, I got him to move here.
No love today. He's one of my favorite humans, but I can't let him know that. I just did, I guess, huh? Anyway, tell me a little bit about Transformation Marketing. Were you just kind of always excited about marketing, or
no?
So how'd this come about?
Travis. Yes, Travis. Travis is the hinge pin on that. So I loved banking, loved it, and like 10 and a half years. And I was on the retail side, so I had customers, I have team, I just really, really loved it. Well, at that particular point, the banks were being bought and sold a lot. And then I had 2 kids real close together. So things had changed, and Travis was working in radio, was doing a great job. If you know salespeople, typically, Gary's the same way. They don't like to do the detail stuff.
No.
It's just too much. So
no, that's a 4-letter word. They spelled it wrong, but it really is a 4-letter word. Go ahead.
Yeah, so he goes, Shannon, you could do all this stuff for me, and then that would open me up to more sales. So I actually got in to support him. Funny thing is Amy Graham, who's the GM here, she's like, Shannon, you take these radio advertising bureau. I can't even say that. Yeah, but whatever. RIB sessions. So I did that, and then they trained me, and so I just supported Travis. And I'm like, gosh, as we're doing this, we had clients that I was placing media in lots of states, and then I'm like, I really like this. And so then we got into websites and all this stuff, and so it just kind of snowballed from there. But what I realized is the commonality isn't necessarily that, you have a passion for marketing. I have a passion for helping business, and then I have a passion for business. So that's kind of how it all came together.
And you have a passion for people.
Yeah.
You're very, very good. Your culture, very people-oriented. I remember that because I was maybe going to come and work for you once. Remember that? And we were interviewing and stuff. And I was
at Granite City talking about that.
I was like, God, Shannon's so much more mature than I am now and so much more professional, and she used to work for me. And I never really ever was the boss, actually, I guess, where I worked.
If I could turn back the hands of time and do that forever, that would have been a lot of fun.
It was a lot of fun. And so now you have Transformation Marketing. So you guys do all types of marketing.
Yes.
And tell me a little bit about your team and the people that work for you.
Yeah.
With you.
Yeah. So we have a great team. The first time, over 3 years, really, I have team members here. April and I are here usually in this office. Abby lives up in Omaha. She comes down once a week. She was like, I have to move to Omaha. I'm like, fine, work remote. You can't leave me. She's fantastic. And then we have team members that are overseas. Nika and Nadine have worked with me over 3 years, just integrated as if they were here. And
wow, that is so amazing.
I just love it. we just have a really amazing team. Incidentally, it's all female, so that's kind of interesting too. So.
Well, nothing can be perfect. So I said that. Oh man,
it's on the air.
That. I know. Yeah. I'm going to pay for it. Okay. Oh well. I grew up with mostly all women. I'm used to getting
that is so true.
Bashing. So anyway, you have, and we maybe get to this in another segment as well. But so AI is obviously no stranger to you. I mean, that's going to be something for sure, and in your circle and the world you work in, it's going to really be something that will augment what you do. You know, what do you think of it? How's that going? I mean, it's fairly
it's a little
new.
overwhelming because it's coming so quickly and advancing so quickly. So we can definitely dive into that. I think it's very exciting that what it can offer. But a lot of my conversations with my clients are how to use it, when to use it, not to be afraid of it, not to be overwhelmed by it. But there is definitely distinct camps of I'm very curious and I'm excited, and then I hate it so much because maybe of that curiosity and unknown. So it's a really interesting time in how those conversations go.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be, it's going to change a lot in everything we do. I mean, I use it at work, all the time. And I use it in certain ways. Now I'm using it to help me write my book, which is pretty amazing. It is a little weird, though, because I can do it while I'm driving. Yeah. So I'm just talking to it, It's like, well, good morning, Gary. How are you today? And I'm kind of like, I'm good. You're not human. Just listen to me and take my diction. So it's interesting. It's going to be really crazy to see how it is in marketing. Well, we are up against a break already.
It goes so fast.
I know. I'm going to feel like I could talk to you till 6 o'clock tonight, which probably won't work. But you're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Stick with us through this segment here. On the other side, we're going to come back and we're going to have our segment, which is one of my favorite, called the 5 Takeaways, which is really good.
Fun.
So we'll have some specific questions for you, Shannon. We'll see you on the other side.
Lincoln's entrepreneurs, one conversation at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
Welcome back to the 402 Business Insider. I get to officially lead in since I am standing in for Travis, so that's quite fun.
Awesome.
This is Shannon Filing, notably the better half of Travis Filing.
Yes, agreed.
And Gary Tharnish. So we're excited to be back to this segment.
Yeah, and it's sponsored by...
Yes, it's sponsored by Sauter Heyman Jewelers and Red Rhino Roofing.
Now, you were telling me something about Sauter Heyman's this weekend.
This weekend they have a designer handbag trunk show. And I was told that you can only get access to these elevated, beautiful bags. Like New York, you have to travel a long way. Well, they're bringing them in, so it's kind of neat. You can check out some of the new jewelry that Sauter Heyman has, but then you have access to these designer bags.
Nice. So if you're at South Point today or downtown for the game, stop in.
It's out at South Point.
It's just South Point. Okay, cool. A lot of people go to South Point before the game.
And I think they bus out of there.
From there. Yeah. Stop into Sauter Heyman's. Well,
so
awesome.
Kind of a fun thing. And they got a lot of stuff going on this whole month, so you'll have to check them out.
Well, this segment is one of my favorite. It's the 5 takeaways, which I love. Great for business entrepreneurs if you're listening. Mm-hmm. Just great ideas for any business. This is sponsored by Nebraska Farmers Network. And you can find the show we did with them a few weeks ago as
Gabe
well
Sanchez.
On 402 Business Insider webpage, or, just hop on any wherever you listen to podcasts and you can find it. But they're a great group of people. So thank you, Nebraska Farmers Network. And Shannon, you've got 5 takeaways. I'm going to let you kind of just lead into it and I'll chime in and make it fun.
Travis, exactly, right? So Travis was so worried that I was going to be nervous. I am not nervous, Travis. But so I am an over-preparer though. So
That's good.
Thinking about 5 takeaways when we've been talking a lot about AI.
Right.
And it's like, okay, well, how do you distill such a broad, rapid developing topic? So this is my 5 takeaways that I'm going to provide the audience today. Is number 1, start by evaluating what your gaps are in your business. And what I mean by that is if sales, like, is it follow-up? Is it hard to find time to follow up? Staying in touch? Generating the right messages? If sales is a trouble part because maybe we lost a salesperson, or maybe external sales is going well, but internal sales is struggling. Think about where the gaps are, because then that's what you can align with AI. Secondly, is if you have like customer service, this could be responding to incoming requests, even answering phones, having service and product questions answered efficiently. So if that is a gap in your business, AI could also be very, very useful in that. Or perhaps it's onboarding clients or onboarding staff. So looking for the gaps and evaluating first, so you even know how you want to use AI and in what regards. So that is my number one, is start by evaluating. Number one takeaway. My number two takeaway is plan the experience. This is where we kind of have to slow down and go, well, what is my experience now? Or do I even have one mapped out experience of, say, for sales example? If I have a long sales cycle, well, what do I want them to experience? How can I educate them until they make the decision to buy?
So I'm going to chime in here
out.
On that one a little bit. One thing that I think is important about that hits me the minute you say that is that go outside of yourself and your company a little bit too. Maybe have a guest client that's not even a client. Just say, hey, this is what we're thinking of doing. How does this make you feel? Because I always go back to in business, regardless of what you're doing, it's so easy to be in your own head, in your own business. And you're in this kind of bubble and not knowing what all these clients and potential clients, everybody out there, what are they really thinking and how are they going to react? So I love that point where you like test out what you're going to do. Maybe not go on TV and go, I just want to get rid of 4,000 heads. Maybe think through what that would cause type thing. Same thing with that.
Yeah, just have it a plan.
And going back to your number one thing, the gaps in your business. When I think of that, I think, oh my gosh, I could use that so well. Personally, I'm a little nervous about using AI because I don't want to become unnecessary. Oh boy. But since I have ADHD so bad and I can just squirrel, I'm always doing 10,000 things at once. That's not really a good thing. It's hard for me to focus and do one. So, that's a really, and I love that part.
Well, and I will say, I keep telling Travis this, and I think sometimes he hears me, but AI and automation are two different things. They can work together. So, you say, well, what's that experience going to be look like or look like? It could be just automation of things, not necessarily using an AI component.
Okay.
So that's kind of a really neat distinction too. So if your business isn't ready for AI, well, let's talk about what we can automate, and then in time, maybe it makes sense to put an AI component in it.
Yeah, I'm the guy that, is at the hospital going, no, I broke both my knees because I didn't ask how deep the water was. I just jump in because I'm ready to go and have fun. So I'm scared of AI, but I'm using it like crazy these days where it's just like, hey, what's a good chicken breast recipe? Because I'm tired of everything I've done, something different. And it's like, boom, you get something, which is great. And now I'm using it to help me write my book, which is like, hello, this is great the way it works. So it isn't even just always business. I guess you could think of writing a book as business, but it can be used in so many different ways.
Bring me to the third point is start small and simple. So there you go. You've talked about, like, I use AI all the time. You use ChatGPT all the time.
I do, yes.
So
is that not AI?
It
has an AI component.
Oh, it is AI.
Oh, yeah,
but
okay.
What's interesting about that is the most used, it's the most tangible, but really that is just really scratching the surface as to what AI can bring to the table. So it's interesting is you've had one experience, but you use it over and over and over, and you found different ways to use it. So that said, is just start small and simple. So that's just perfect. It's like I'm using one tool and I'm using it for recipes. I'm using it to write my book. I'm using it to maybe sound better in an email, whatever it is, but it's still you driving AI.
You know what I did with it that I love, and it deals with the radio station. I needed to write a couple ads for myself as a realtor, and I'm like, I don't want to get on and, hi, I'm Gary Tharnish and I help you buy, sell homes, and you're going to really like me and I'm good because I think I'm good and I hope you think I'm good and blah, 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 blah. But I read marketing stuff all the time. You know that. I've always loved marketing. Yeah. And I found a gentleman that I like his newsletter a lot, and he writes in there like stand out, be different, really why, like the why you want to be a real. Anyway, I took a couple of his favorite newsletter articles that I loved, and I thought, this is what I want to talk about. This is who I feel I am in a realtor and can bring it to the table. And I'm like, so I'm at home right? Because Mr. Squirrel, in between watering the plants, playing piano drums, and doing work, I'm like, okay, I'm trying to write this ad, and I'm like, this just sucks. It's not good. And I went, boom, hey, I copied and pasted both the articles, put them into Chat GPT, copied my bio from my webpage, copied our home design, staging, real estate group web page, put all that information in there and said, write me 2 30-second radio ads. And then it was great. And then we just went from there and we kind of fine-tuned it and added things. And it was amazing because it's like, oh, that's what I was thinking in my head.
Exactly.
It was like stuck in there, Well, so, yeah. But it's simple and small.
Yeah, you bring it's almost like we rehearsed this, which we didn't, by the way, is my fourth takeaway is integrate human elements, right?
Yeah.
So you drove that outcome, right? You had help. That's no different than having a great team. But one of the things that I think about is if you were going to use AI or automation, what a human element could look like. Because I think we see it all the time, like, was that real? Was that real? And we're going to get into this really strange behavior of possibly distrust because there's so much happening with AI. So what I would say is use it where it makes sense, but also what human elements are you going to bring? Is that going to be a video, not AI generated video, literally a video? So when they're like, oh, I met Gary, but he was like his video, now I have a trust element to it. Do we integrate Zoom calls if we're servicing outside of our footprint? Are we doing coffee meets, handwritten notes, personal calls? AI can do a lot of that stuff, but do be very intent on putting human elements in along the way.
Sure.
So that's my fourth takeaway.
I send out note cards.
I know.
And it's huge. People love getting those, and I love getting them. I'm starting to get some sometimes, and they just brighten your day. I mean, when I was young, like you guys weren't even, your parents didn't know each other probably when I was young. We didn't have all the phones and the cell and everything. So handwritten letters and notes were just common all the time.
Oh, yes.
And now when you get one, it's just like, this is so cool, right? Because,
treat.
they could have texted me. They could have sent a Snapchat and said something. But I'm like, man, Shannon took the time to sit down and write me a note or something. I mean, it makes all the difference in the world. I love that for the personal touch. I'll also say when AI first wrote these radio ads I talked about, I read the first one and I went, that does not sound, and I go, that sounds really stiff. And can you reword it? And it came back, and then it was like, well, that sounds like Jim Carrey in one of his characters is saying it. That's a little. Can we come into the in between? So you do, you do kind of learn how to use it. Okay, so I don't know what your fifth one is, and we will get to it. But here's another thing. So I'll get these reels, and it'll say, learn AI in 28 days, and I'm just shoot me in the head or put my head in a vice grip and tighten it. I really want to do that. I don't, but I do want to know about it, and I know it's going to affect my industry and business and everything. And it'll say, learn all this AI, and there's like in 27 days, and there's 27 different like AI apps.
Tools, yes.
One of them, or tools, you'd say, okay, 27 different tools, and one of them's ChatGPT. That one. And I'm like, oh my Lord, are you kidding me? There's like 26 other ones I don't know. So you were just, go a little deeper in. I think everyone kind of knows Chat GPT. Most people in business.
The surface of it, sure.
Yeah, on the surface of it, because I'll know, like in my Centers for group, we'll talk about that, and Chat GPT comes up a lot. We just had a little mindset group in there, and everybody's talking Chat GPT, but not the other things. And this is where I learned about the book, because one of the guys like, I'm using it to write my book. I'm like, dude, we're talking afterwards. Like, what? Anyway.
Yeah. Yeah, so what's interesting, even if we talk about just Chat GPT, if you could envision on the left-hand side menu, and it'll say other apps or other chats or whatever, it's like 4 boxes, right? In there are that many more just in chat. So they have like spreadsheet ones, they have data analysis, they'll have deep research, they have all of these, and that's just in Chat GPT.
That's just crazy.
There's nestled in there's that many more. You could do create me a PowerPoint on these topics.
Oh, I did that.
Yeah.
I did that on
okay.
ChatGPT.
Yeah.
It was horrible good. It came.
There needs to be some advancements on things.
Yeah,
but
well, here's how I use it, though. So I need to do a PowerPoint for Centers Fair, and I want to do it on home maintenance because I think it's the number one thing people forget about their house is to maintain it. And when I go to sell it for you, you live there 15 years, 9 times out of 10, it's like, I could walk through the house, I'll be like, do you want me to price it with this color paint? Oh, God, no, we've hated these walls for 10 years. We just haven't painted. Do you want me to price it with this carpet? No, it needs to be, it's better. It depends on who says it. So that's why I get him to say it. But so I said to ChatGPT, I'm doing a business PowerPoint, 20 minutes long on home maintenance. Can you produce something for me? Boom, it produced it like in seconds, first off. But it's all white background and black lettering. It's the most boring thing.
Yes.
And I'm like, can you color it up a little bit? And then one side was red in the back, one was blue in the back. I'm like, this is not working. But the content was really good. So I copied. So I said, just give me a link. And I went into PowerPoint presentation then with the link, and there's Copilot in there now, which I'm thinking that's AI.
Yes, I believe
Copilot?
so. I don't use that. I have people that have. I don't, but yes.
Well, I use Copilot
to
merge the two together, and then it turned out super, super cool.
Right
and I was like, oh, everybody's going to know I didn't do this by myself, but it looks really, really good.
Well, and you kind of mentioned this too, is that I've used this and this element. That's where things get overwhelming, but I told you about at the cabin. Now they have an AI coach right in there in our technology. But we're seeing the things that we normally are using are bringing AI in as well. Like, I don't know if you use Canva, they have an AI element. Some of them need to advance a little bit further, but they're building them for us, which is quite nice.
One thing I think about AI and people that 4,000 heads just lost their jobs. So I guess you can think AI could replace you. That's a true thing in a way, but I don't like the word that it replaces you. AI will never replace a human, in my opinion. It's just like the way I've used ChatGPT already, where I'm like, okay, A, that doesn't sound like me at all. B, it's stiff. I mean, the augmentation it can do to make it sound more like me is good in the long run. But there's just gonna, for me, always be something about the human element in anybody I do business with. That's just important to me.
Right.
And also very vital. You look at Zillow, other companies in real estate. I'm relating everything to real estate because that's what I do.
Yeah.
But, you look at the Zestimates, for example, on Zillow, and they're off all the time.
Oh, for
Why?
sure.
Because it's just using all these AI-generated everything algorithms, gathering all sorts of information they can on this house, but they haven't been in it. And if somebody lived in it for 3 years, it's not like it was the last time they saw pictures.
Right.
So there's something about you have to have that human element.
Or
now,
the neighborhood's changed or whatever.
So many
it may
things.
be. Yeah.
Can be so many things, And so when I think about AI, can it replace people? Yeah, sadly, it just replaced 4,000 people because of brain dead guy who did it the wrong way. But the point is, there's something about that human touch that I just don't think algorithms can ever really replace.
Yeah. Well, and there's so many aspects of it, but think about just your book. Your book is your experience.
Right.
Right? And it's just helping polish it, getting it down so people can digest your experiences that you want to share. Organizing it.
I have squirrels all over the place.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, AI doesn't have these experiences. People do. We're using that as a tool. So, it is very, very interesting. But my fifth and final is check and monitor. So I have a story that we'll probably get to, but AI, it's a tool. We have to check and monitor it.
Well, get to your story. I want to hear the story. I love stories.
Yeah, so we deployed an AI chat on our web. Great. We want to play with that. We want to train it. So I deployed it on a website. Well, this little AI went willy-nilly and started responding to our internal client communication.
Without your approval.
Well, I thought, is April responding? Like, where's this stuff coming from? So we had a client text us, and it's like, I was thinking about doing this. It was someone that we do billing for. So he's like, I was thinking about doing this, and he goes, I think that is a great direction for you to take. And I'm like, what is happening? Like, this doesn't sound like April. It wasn't me. What's happening? So the chat actually was, released internal. But again, checks and balances and monitor. Granted, nothing happened adversely, but it was just like, well, that was oddly efficient and kind of strange, but that was our experience. So we had to check and monitor it. It can't just be forgotten about.
Yeah, I can see that being a big thing. I sometimes will get on those, and now I realize they're AI monitored when you're chatting with somebody, right? Mm-hmm. But if I'm on a web page and I'm kind of getting frustrated and I see, I can chat, mm-hmm. In my mind, I'm always thinking I'm going to chat with a human, and it's so quick when I find out, oh my God, I'm talking to a bot.
Well,
even my friends that have known me for 50 years still don't get me. So it's kind of like, this is going to take forever.
I don't mind a bot because sometimes they're very efficient. Sometimes. I do like chat, but I also really like when it tells me, hey, this is, I don't know, Beanie Bot or whatever you're going to do. And you name the bot, you're talking to a bot, and then it'll be, it's time to talk to a human. I like when it's very transparent and you can take that. And then, yes, now I need a human.
Just disclose that you're a bot from the get-go. That I would love. Yeah. Yeah, that would be fine, because it takes me a while sometimes to figure out what's going on because I'm squirreling. It's like I don't do one thing at a time. So, yeah, that's really cool. I was thinking about your phone tree too, and I've always hated it, but now I'm like, ooh, I want to get one. Then maybe just start off with, hey, this is Gary, but not really. It's a recording, and I hate phone trees, probably just like you, but you know what? I treasure your time. I treasure my time. I'm going to try to make it quick, If you want to leave me a message, 1, 2, if you want to talk to Bree, just kind of do it that way. I get it.
It's just transparency.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. Well, listen, we're coming up against a break here. You're listening to the 402 Business Insider with my very special, wonderful guest, Shannon Filing, the better half of Travis and Shannon. Oh, God, Travis is going to hate me. And I'm Gary Tharnish, and we'll be back on the other side. Stick with us. We're going to keep talking about some unexpected impacts. That'll kind of be fun.
Where Nebraska business owners tell their story. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
Hey, welcome back to the 402 Business Insider. You're listening today. I'm Gary Tharnish with Home Design Real Estate Group at Home Real Estate. And with me today is Shannon Filing, Travis's better half.
Travis is never going to go out of town again.
Transformation marketing. I know he's not. He's going to find a new co-host, isn't he?
I'm out.
I am to death if he does that.
That's right. We will have an uprising on social. Keep Shannon. No, just kidding.
This segment is sponsored by Lincoln Airport, the Lincoln Airport, James Arthur Vineyards, and Lincoln Coin and Bullion. I can't say that half the time. Lincoln Coins Boiling, Coin and Bullion and Coin. Anyway, Doug Fitzgerald works down there. He's amazing. He's helped me down there a few times. Yeah,
Pat
they're just
and
great
Trina,
people.
Yeah, they're great.
James Arthur Vineyards. Who doesn't love wine? I love when they did fast food pairing with wines. I'm like,
I heard that on your show, and I thought, how clever.
Yeah, I'd like. I'm at Arby's. I'd like a #1 with red wine, please. We may not see that yet. And then the airport's awesome. Rachel out there is doing an amazing job. They have the Breeze coming in, direct flights to Orlando starting in December. Order your tickets for that now. And then also, they still have their movies coming up. Their outdoor movies. They have another one at the end of this month. So check their webpage for the date and time.
And they just reached out to me because they're going to be doing a trunk or treat too in October. So they are doing so much stuff out there.
Which is good. This segment is called Unexpected Impacts. So we don't have a sponsor yet, but I think this would be great for a car collision place.
Exactly.
Right? Talk about an unexpected impact. It's like, I was just driving. For me, it was like, I'm talking to AI doing my book, not paying attention. I'd be the one with the ticket. Trust me.
The case study.
But anyway, when you have those unexpected impacts, but we have those in business all the time as well. Correct?
Absolutely.
I mean, it happens. I mean, there are days where it seems like, okay, today there's been 5. Can we just please have no more accidents or anything unexpected? Like I'm putting fires out all day. In real estate, that can really happen. I mean,
an impact can be good. It doesn't always have to be negative.
Yeah. Well, one of the biggest things I learned about unexpected impacts relating specifically to real estate, well, also when I had the flower shop, but I didn't learn well then as well as I'm learning now. I'm older, is that they're going to happen. Right? Mm-hmm. They're just going to happen. The deal is when you have to call somebody and tell them about an unexpected impact, have some solutions ready. Mm-hmm. Makes all the difference in the world, right? So if I have to deliver you bad news about your home, or if you have to deliver me bad news about something marketing or how we messed up the marketing bridge or whatever it might be, if you just have some solutions in mind along with it, it always, is better. But you were asking me off air about, AI using in my business or any unexpected things from AI. So One thing we see that you brought up that I think is a great point is, you'll see, hey, this is agent ABC, and if you're looking at buying a house, I can give you an instant quote on the value of your home. Let's just take that little example, for example. So basically, that's been available for a long time. And I always say, I could be wrong, but my thinking is AI has been around a long, long time. They just didn't let it out of the box into the general public until a few years ago. And now it's like, no great big surprise. It's like, oh, that's when my daughter asked me for what I wanted for Christmas. And I said, I wanted drumsticks. And then she said, what kind? And I said, well, just regular. And she goes, there's a ton of type. Oh yeah, I like Vic Firth 5B. That's the drumstick I want. And then for the next month, every ad I got on Instagram, everywhere was 5B. So it's been around. But anyway, here's kind of how that works. So we use that as a tool, right? So if you want me to value your house, I'm going to start there. I'm going to start with what's the Zestimate, the Zillow's estimate, what is Homes.com estimate, and then what is RPR, which is something that the Realtors Association uses. And those, again, are all algorithms. And AI does a great job of gathering thousands of bits of data and bringing it together and saying, hey, thinking of all this many bedrooms, or whatever it might be, this is what we think the price is. But still, I have to get my eyes on it. I'm going to call realtors that have comparables and say, hey, tell me about what did that house look like on the inside for real? I see the pictures, but I mean, were there a lot of problems? All those things where I'm making adjustments to get a really good price for your home. I wouldn't say I would not do that for a client if they kind of want to, kind of an instant, what do you think it might be worth? But I always want to tell them, what I would rather do is an actual market analysis for you. It's going to take me a while to do it. And cost me a little bit of time to do it. But man, if you tell somebody, because you're just using algorithms and AI, hey, your house is worth $400,000, and then I actually do the CMA and I go to your house and I'm like, ooh, wow, your garage might tip over with a gentle breeze. And
are you talking the houses we make you show us?
Yes, those are horrible. I love it. But what's beautiful about you guys though is then you make them wonderful. So kudos. We need more of that in America everywhere. But the point being, once you tell somebody, it's kind of like the first impression. You don't get a second, right? The first time I see you, if you're in rags and and you're like, I can do this marketing for you. It's going to cost $40,000. I'm going to be like, sweetheart, you can't tie your shoes. Like, I don't know where we go from here, but you haven't done your hair in forever, and there's a degreaser you can get.
He's not
you don't
talking
get
about
that
me.
back. I'm not. I guess I kind of said like I was. It's another Shannon. I have 5 Shannons in my phone. It's one of them. It's David, our producer's girlfriend. He's going to kill me now, too.
No one's safe right now with Gary. No one.
Oh, my gosh. I got to hold me back. Rein me back in. What am I trying to say? Anyway, so if you do that and you say it's worth $400,000, and I really do deep analysis and go, it's really worth like probably $350 to $360, unless you want to invest all this money to bring it up to what the computer thought it was worth. So that's kind of the challenge with AI. That's just a very basic way of how I use that, or how I see it used.
Yes.
That can be kind of good and not good. It just really depends, What your home is worth, is whatever somebody's willing to offer you for it
100%.
on any given day. Now, you can augment that if you haven't been maintaining your house by putting some money into it, fixing it up, and you will get more money. But if I just come back and instantly go, oh, here's your instant thing, it's $400,000, and then come into your house and go, you really need about $25,000 worth of work.
Right.
Do you like me?
Yeah, you don't.
Well, I mean, I know you do.
You don't.
You always say you do.
Oh, I do.
That wasn't specifically for you.
I do, but you're the bearer of bad news then.
Thank you. Yes,
yeah.
and that's right.
And that's tough.
Which you don't want. Yeah.
The unexpected impact that we talk about.
Yeah, a very unexpected impact, right? And then where do you kind of go from there?
Right.
I think in the marketing world, because I always loved marketing. I think I grew a love for it out of wasting a whole ton of marketing when I first started. Because, entrepreneurs out there that are listening, if you're thinking of opening up a business, let me just tell you right now, you cannot do everything by yourself.
100%.
AI can augment some of what you can't do, but you need to ask for help with the right people to help you. And marketing is a huge area to do that because you can waste a lot of money in a short amount of time. And so I really started loving marketing. But I brought brought this up before, and I think it's probably a huge thing in your business, but you get those clients, I'm sure. If you haven't, I'm sure you have because you're a successful businesswoman. But you get those clients, they go with you, they're going to do something, they're going to do all this marketing, they spend the money, and 6 months later, a year later, they're like, well, it didn't really work for us, da-da-da-da-da. A lot of that, is what were their expectations, but I think even bigger so you can have the best marketing plan out there, but if you don't have your bridge completely covered from one end to the other, what I mean is at the beginning of the bridge, you're going to have a marketing plan, what you want to do, what are you selling, what is your service, what is it, but do the employees know about it all the way across the bridge? Yeah. If you get an increase in business, are you prepared for it? Can you scale if you need to?
Or how do you know? How are you tracking?
Or how do you track? Exactly.
So when you say it doesn't work, have you even set a metric?
Right.
Because there's very tangible results and there's intangible results.
Yeah.
So it is interesting and that goes back to one of our 5 takeaways is what is the plan? What is the plan? And that plan has to include how will we know if success happens? Yeah. Or how do we know what needs changed?
Well, in radio, it'll go down to you can have a client come in or a radio exec come in and say, hey, let's get you on the radio. And you have somebody says, well, I'll give you 3 months. Mm-hmm. If I don't see results in 3 months, I'm out. I'll throw 30,000 at it.
Yep.
I would be like, okay, how about no?
Yeah.
But what if we throw 30,000 over a year? Mm-hmm. And set up what your expectations are and everything, because it's very easy in 3 months. You're not going to gain enough repetition in someone's mind that their reticular activator is even,
or
set off.
What is your sales cycle?
Bingo.
I mean, Is it something, can I swing by and get a slushie? Okay, well, maybe that makes sense. But if it's a house, maybe I'm not ready in 3 months.
And if it's January, I may not want a slushie. I'm walking in it. Well, you're listening to the 402 Business Insider. Stick with us. We'll be back on the other side talking about something. So just join us. I can't read that quick. Love y'all. See you soon.
Stories of local success. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
Hey, welcome back to the 402 Business Insider. Shannon and I are having so much fun. And David, too. I swear David's like, bring Travis back as quick as you can. It's the most organized thing you've ever seen. Listen, this segment is sponsored by the Lincoln Chamber of Commerce and Integrated Behavioral Health Services, 2 great companies here in Lincoln. Chamber is doing great things.
I know.
If you're a business owner, you need to be a member of the Chamber. Just leave it at that. Integrated Behavioral Health Services, that just always sounds like something I need.
I think we all need that. But I'll tell you what,
right?
Their work is hard and they are passionate about it. So that's pretty cool.
I think they'd lock the door if they saw me coming, but okay.
But they'd lock you in.
They'd lock me in forever in a padded room. I do like padding. So anyway.
We digress.
This segment's called This Needs an Adjustment, which we know I need one. Anyway, it's sponsored by my chiropractor, Ascend Chiropractic. Brian, Olivia, the whole staff over there are amazing. If you're if you have back pain, shoulder pain, any kind of whatever that's not working right, address it. Don't let it go forever. It needs an adjustment, right?
But think about what we do at work. We sit at our computers and the way that we are looking at screen time or looking down at our phones.
Yeah.
Chiropractic is so needed. So needed.
Just looking out the window.
Gary's staring into space. I'm looking at my computer.
My head's filled with space. So I'm going to tell a really quick story of it. When you tell a story, it sometimes needs an adjustment too. We were talking about personality types earlier, and
Love
mine,
them.
if it's not people oriented, I hate it, like data and distilled down, it's fine. Give me the 5 main points. But I have a buddy I haven't seen forever. We go out for coffee. His wife happens to be a doctor. So we're chatting and everything, and I'm like, I'm going to make up names here. I'm going to say, so how's Patty doing? He goes, oh my gosh, she is so mad. She's ready to just quit. I go, really? Because she's been with that practice for a long time. She's a great doctor. Why does she want to quit? She goes, well, it's the colored people. And I was like, oh my gosh, I've known you for 30 years. You do never have come across like a racist to me. This is all going through my head. And I'm I go, the colored people? And he goes, yeah. He goes, they are driving her nuts. And he goes, so I go, okay, like, what? And he goes, she's done. She just said the other day, she goes, you need to get these colored people out of here. I go, man, Mike, like what? I have never thought of you as a racist. And he goes, racist? what? And I go, well, she's so sweet. Like, what doesn't she like about colored people? He goes, well, not colored people. He goes, no, they're doing personality assessments based on color. They keep calling her she's a green and she thinks she's an orange. I'm like, dude, that needs an adjustment. That story needs adjustment. What you start with is they're doing a personality adjustment at the clinic based on colors, not she's sick of the colored people and she wants them all out.
Oh my gosh,
anyway,
that's funny.
Stories can need adjustments sometimes too. But anyway,
oh my.
So you were talking about an example you have of something that needed an adjustment.
Yeah.
What was that?
Yeah, so this was really interesting to me, and it was a fun project to work on. So we were working with an over-the-road truck driving company, and they were recruiting drivers.
Okay.
And
very specific.
They are like unicorns right now because they're retiring and not... people aren't going into that, right? So we need that. So we were looking at that going, well, what can we bring to the table on hiring? We aren't headhunters or anything, but it came down to marketing. You're marketing an opportunity. So anyway, we used that, and what needed adjustment is how we did that and how we plugged in. So we used a marketing strategy for their hiring and retention. And how we did that is we used social media to have their internal culture mirrored outside. And what happened with that is a lot of the families were super fans and highly engaged. Nice. So it solidified what people would experience once they worked there, but before they worked there.
Took the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We also marketed outside the job board because when they're at the job board, we want to catch them before when it's like, yeah, you know, I was thinking about a change, but I'm not searching the job board. So we did that by use of video and making little things big things. So one of the things we heard from one of the drivers is, I like coming in here. Everything's paved. Well, their truck is their home. I hate going in to muddy lots that muck up my truck. They take a lot of pride in that. So we did a really fun actor and we hired an actor and we did something just on the vast amount of concrete. It was a little thing, but it was a big thing to them. So just having your ears open and how we do that, their onboarding process and speed of replies to applicants was a big, big deal because everyone's hiring. And it made me think too on the speed of reply. Incidentally, Dave Ramsey, if you are in his like affiliate circle or whatever, they're starting to rank based off of speed of reply, who gets the more leads through the Dave Ramsey network. So you better believe people are going to be real smart on how they're going to use AI in that regard.
No kidding.
And then just employee engagement and how we did that. So it was just an interesting, what needed adjusted is just our mindset on how we market versus recruitment and just being creative in that. And AI couldn't have done that if it were not our idea. So
yeah, and that's a cool adjustment and a way to look at things. You know, the trucking industry is challenging. I mean, talk about a job where I think like 42%, they lose 42% of truckers every year. Most trucking companies lose their drivers, 42% of them. There's that much turnover. Of course, they're always seeing the grass greener on the other side of the field whenever they're at a truck stop, talking to the other truckers. You should go to our company. We do this, we do that.
The hiring bonuses got nuts for a while.
Yeah, definitely.
You know, and you also look at that's very tangent on who you're recruiting. Sometimes you're recruiting the wife because they're on the home front, much like military. They're keeping the family going.
Right.
Well, a key piece of their family is gone.
Yeah.
So it is interesting.
It's true. Because if you're a long haul trucker across the country, you're gone 20 days at a time and then 4 home. That's not much at all.
Yeah.
Talk about Travis will like that. Talk about work-life balance. There's no...
Right?
If he's listening, I'm sorry, Travis. I did that for you. He's the other day off air. He's like, if I hear that one more time...
I did not hear this about that.
Work-life balance.
Oh, that's funny.
I got you, Travis. But it is true. You know, here's the thing also, I think, when we do this segment, and I just think about it in chiropractic a lot, too, you know, Ascend being our client sponsoring this, a lot of times people don't get an adjustment. They're either fearful of it, they think it's going to take time, whatever it might be, and you just make it worse. It's like putting your head in the sand when you have a challenge and not dealing with it. Same in business, and I think, you know, I mean, loved my dad. I had the best dad ever. I would still pick him if 5 billion people were lined up and I could choose him. He's gone now, but one thing that he always said that kind of wasn't helpful for me in business is he says, you need to learn to deal with things. You need to take care of it. You need to just, and so asking for help was always contrary to me, kind of like that's a sign of failure. And listen, seriously, especially if you're in business, in life general for anybody, but especially if you have a business, ask for help whenever you need it, right? I mean, there's those of us like myself that have probably done it the wrong way that can help you through whatever you need, or you need a marketing company. You need to hire somebody to help you through those things. I think especially marketing, because marketing's expensive. It is, right? But if you don't do it right, you're just tossing money around back and forth, and there's no continuity to it.
100%.
Yeah, it's so important. So important.
Yep. I've always been a proponent of asking for help or asking for mentorship, whatever it is. If I can get from A to Z with as little pain as possible, I will do it. So I actually have
you don't know the song? A, B, W, C, T, M, J. I know it. I mean, geez, I'll shoot you that afterwards. It'll help
I just want you to sing it to me, and I'll just play it on repeat.
That's one of my favorite things to tease kids with. Sing it wrong. The little 3 and 4-year-olds will go, that's not right, Mr. Gary. That's not right. But that is very true, right? Yeah. I mean, use your friends and people around you. It's awesome. I love SCORE for that, the retired business people that help. Well, listen, I've loved having you listen to us here on 402 Business Insider. Stick with us through the break. On the other end, we're just kind of tighten up a few things we've been talking about. So come back to us. Thank you. Bye.
Building business, one story at a time. 402 Business Insider on 1499.3 KLIN.
Welcome back to the 402 Business Insider on this, our last segment. I'm Gary Thornish with Home Design Real Estate Group at Home Real Estate. And with me today is Shannon, filing with Transformation Marketing. She is the much better half of Travis.
Every segment he gets kicked in the pants. Poor Trav.
We do love you, Travis, but we just don't want you to know. Anyway, this segment is sponsored by the Berry Law Firm. John Berry and the staff over there are amazing. I've worked with them on several issues. I had the pleasure of doing John's wedding when I had my flower shop, so that was really fun.
That's cool.
Just a nice guy, when you get to know somebody in that level is really awesome. And I'm sure that it is the culture at Berry Law also. Also, Wayuka Cemetery, which if you've been driving down O Street, you've seen the big cement wall that's going up now. People have asked for that. It's just north of Little Pond there.
Do you know what it is?
And yes, they're bringing the mosaic from Persian Auditorium is going to be put up there. They saved it.
Yeah, so they're really working hard to lean into the historic attributes of Wayuka, and they're doing a pretty amazing job there, and they're doing a whole remodel inside too, so they've got a lot going on.
We used to ice skate there all the time when we were kids.
Really?
We played frisbee there. I have this great book on the history of Lincoln, and in the late 1800s and early 1900s, that's where the community gathered.
Oh, very cool.
If they had a festival, it was at the cemetery. It sounds so odd to everybody right now,
it sounds
because
so southern.
It's a little bring your grits and we're going to meet at Wayuka. So let's go have lunch there afterward.
Well, it's beautiful land.
I'm dying to eat there.
Yeah.
Anyway, this segment, we were just chatting off the air about culture, which is kind of where we started the show today
100%.
a little bit, right? With let's get rid of these 4,000 heads, bad culture move. Share with us, you had 4 tips that we kind of chatted about. Share those with our listeners.
One of the things that I like equally to marketing is I like culture and people. And so where it started, let's end there too. And I thought about this as I reflected in preparation to coming on, is how do we build and keep a good company culture with elements of AI coming in? So I thought about that, and I believe this to be true. AI, involved or not, is when we hire, is make sure that we have people that are very comfortable with change and adapting. They say that's one of the best skill sets we as people and employees and leaders can do, is be adaptable and accept change.
100%.
Yeah, it's not really a specific skill outside of that, but if we can see change and be okay with change and move through that, that is a survival technique that we can gift ourselves.
And it's more important now than ever. My grandmother lived to be 110, so she was born in 1897. Oh, wow. She passed away in 110 years later, 2007. Oh, math. Anyway, when I was chatting with her one time about, what's like your biggest takeaway in life, you're 103. She was 103 at the time, and she says the speed of change.
And it's only getting faster.
Yeah, she goes, my first job was playing for the silent movies in Norfolk, and your great-grandfather would take me down on the wagon and drop me off for the weekend. And she goes, and then you see the Industrial Revolution and things start to change. She goes, and then there were phones and everything. She goes, but there was like change during the first 60 years of my life, but the change from 60 to 70 and 70 to 80 and 80 to 81 and 81 years old to 82 years old. She goes, the speed of change is incredible. So that's a really important tip. I would not 100%. Have really thought of that, but very important.
And then secondly goes with that is just always learning. So when I hire people outside the university, it's their first postgraduate job. It's like, okay, this is where you start learning. I mean, you've learned, but now the learning's on you. Someone is not serving that up to you. You have to take the initiative to always learn.
Should I get the phrase know-it-all out of my resume?
Yes.
Maybe?
Yeah, that's probably not a good thing.
Shoot.
The good thing you're self-employed.
Well, that was AI's idea. Go ahead.
And the last thing, and this comes down to leaders, is just making it, and this is kind of my bugaboo, the safe space is kind of cliche, but making the culture okay to question, not be disruptive, but hey, why do we always do it this way? And then being open to that feedback, because you are going to get the best ideas from those frontline people that are working through this. And if you let them be creative, they will solve a multitude of your problems. It doesn't have to come all from you and on your shoulders.
And they're kind of out of your head. That's the big thing, right? Because we all operate within our head, which I know for you too, that's scary if you think of mine. That's I get that from everyone. But I mean, it's back to what I said. We work in our own little box, and our inner perception can so often be off of what the outer perception is. So you're basically narrowing that down to say, when people work for you, accept and rejoice and welcome their ideas of change or spitballing ideas and things. And also as a leader, I think really good leaders are comfortable with constructive criticism.
Yes.
And it's easy to say you are, but that's hard to take sometimes,
I think about the show. Did you guys ever watch the show Undercover Boss, right?
Yes.
But think about some of those leaders, because they were really big companies that were a little detached from all of the aspects of their company. And they're like, I never knew this was their experience or their challenge. And if you don't integrate yourself or listen to the people that are in those areas of your business and really choose to understand and listen to them, you're missing opportunities that could be brilliant. And when people have a say, doesn't have to get their way, but have a say, they are going to be more apt to follow change if they feel they're a part of it, instead of it's thrust on you.
Yeah, let them have skin in the game.
Exactly.
Right? They're not just a head.
Exactly.
That can be disposed of with AI.
They have brains in that head, and let them use it. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. What's that? Well, anyway. You learn something new every show. What's your fourth thing? Was that all four already?
Those were it. Adaptability, learn, and question freely. So those things I think can set companies and people up for success, and just being intentional about that. So.
And the question freely is so important.
Yeah.
Companies can just get ingrained. I did it at the flower shop where it was like, man, we have to change. We need to adapt. And I wasn't. I was just kind of stuck in, this is how I've always done it. This is how I've always done it, and not let that happen. I mean, it's a huge thing to be.
Because it's comfortable.
Yeah, that's right.
And routine can be very comforting. But with the speed of change right now, we're going to have to get real good and comfortable with that. And that's a challenge for everyone, because it's not really in our human behavior likes.
Well, and David, I'm going to try to word this properly. One thing I hear a lot of my generation say is, oh God, I don't know what the world's coming to, these young people. And I just want to slap them. I'm like, okay, be around the young people. Oh my God, it's the innovation and the speed at which they are comfortable with change. And a lot of these things right here, do not overlook those. Because I think my age group, I mean, I'm a baby boomer. So I think we're leaving behind a great legacy. I really think these younger people that are coming out in their 20s, coming out of school and stuff, their ability to adapt, to bring change and welcome it, to see opportunities where they weren't seen before, because the creativity, I think, has really been augmented from when I was young. I mean, when I was young, it was like slap, don't paint outside of the lines. Boom, do this. There was always just a structure, as opposed to, I mean, when Common Core first came out, I'm like, oh my God, are you kidding me? But then one of my employees said, my son is finally getting A's in math. He was failing, but Common Core works for him. I look at Common Core and go, oh, just another reason I don't like math. But I get it. You know, it's very, very important. Shannon, I want to do this over 1,000 times with you. I mean, Travis is okay, but
it's football season. I can come back.
He's never going to let me be alone in here, especially with you again, ever. It has been a pleasure speaking with you. I just learned a lot today. I'm sure our listeners have too. Yeah. Thank you, listeners, for sticking with us. You've been listening to the 402 Business Insider. Please check us out. We have a webpage, 402 Business Insider, on Facebook. You know, you can find us all over social media.
Newsletter. Sign up.
We have a new newsletter. Sign up on email. It's a great newsletter. Saw the first one this week, and it's fantastic. So thanks. We'll see you next week, and go Big Red.
Bye.